Welcome, everybody. This is episode 9 of the Bad Advice Show. I'm your host, owner of the Art of Our Kings, a team on a fucking roll right now. We go from losing 6 games straight to 2 right now. We're starting at 2. We're going to try and go to 6 in a row and make playoffs. I am Grant Cron. With me this week, don't have Trevor. But we have the owner of the Stadium Hot Dogs, new guy to the league, took over. Better luck next time. Tommy Valenta, how are you doing, buddy?
Good, my man.
Welcome to the league. I don't think so. This is your first time on the stream.
Yeah, number one.
Yeah, we unfortunately. So we played this week. I kept my streak going, my win streak.
Yeah, against my team. All right, that sucks.
But also you were crazy busy on the free agent market, should we say, the trade block. You made a lot of trades. How are we feeling now that they're done? You got JT and you traded away Jonathan Taylor.
I traded JT to Logan for what was that? James Conner and Tyrone Tracy.
Yep.
So hopefully that flies out. Tyrone looks pretty sweet, actually. He's got some really good cutback vision. That fucker moves pretty well.
Yeah. Needs Singletary to take a step back, but like it's a decent handcuff to, like, if he gets injured, if Singletary gets injured, you got a nice little pop there. And Singletary is also a transition guy, so he'll probably be somewhere else next year.
It looks like he's been injured, or not injured, but I thought that he had played the last 3 games with Tracy in. I think he had like 4 points apiece or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but.
And then what was that? What was the other trade you had? You had
that was
Lamb for Ladd McConkey.
Lamb. I could have probably got a little more out of that one, but it was just one of those days where I was like, fucking. I had sent out quite a few trades actually for that dude, but ended up just going with McConkey, I guess.
I think that's we'll see in the future how that one does, because this year, what is he? I think he's like $9.
Yeah, I think he's $9, so not terrible.
He's gonna go up to, like, I don't know, would that be 14 or 15 next year? Which keeper,
something like that,
be a decent keeper. And if he gets better, if he does better than this year, he could be another keeper. You're looking at the potential 3-year player on your team.
Yeah, I'm trying to just find who that might be. You know what I mean? So just getting a little crazy. Obviously I'm coming in first year, picking up. I mean, I could have probably pushed at 1-6 with Harrison, hoping that he would turn things around. He looked pretty good in week 8, but he's wide open, every other week, doesn't get any receptions. It's just frustrating to watch, but unfortunately I got him for $40, so that fucker's gone during the draft for sure. I mean, unless he just blows up at the end of the season, I can convince myself to pay $60 for him.
I would say I paid $60 for $64 out of my draft capital for Tyreek Hill.
All right. So I'm not crazy. I wouldn't be crazy then.
No,
if he blows up.
You wouldn't be crazy. But you also, you should have some good bones, and I think you're setting up for good bones. That's
what we're looking for, yeah.
Because I completely left Tyreek Hill, like, got him for 64 and was like, hey, we're going to build our team around this guy. We have a little bit to build around him. And I just, like, didn't. I had a bad draft, and I didn't have any, like, fallback. And so that's the thing. Like, you could keep Marvin Harrison, but you need good bones, something to fall back on.
Yep. And I'm hoping Pollard sticks it out too. Because Pollard kind of took that starting spot away from Ty J. And everyone's like, oh, Ty J is going to be the man this year. What is he doing? I feel like I knew he wasn't going to do anything. You know what I mean? Like Pollard, he looked great in Texas. Obviously, it was weird that one year he did start. I just don't think they're really using him right because – and that might be the one good thing that Jacksonville – is doing, not Jacksonville,
Tennessee,
the Titans, Tennessee, that they're doing right now in the run game, at least, because they're awful, obviously, in every other aspect.
Everywhere else, yeah.
but yet Pollard shines at least a little bit, every week. So that gives me some confidence. If they can figure that out a little bit, we're feeling good. But back to what you were saying, yeah, definitely need to build some good bones, and hopefully next year's better, because obviously there's a lot of guys that are, $40-$50 already right now that guys just aren't going to keep.
Get rid of them. Send them to a guy who has championship aspirations.
Exactly.
Because we're at the same. And especially
like, oh league. Fuck, this dude's gonna win me the chip. Yeah, dude, I'll give away everybody. I could have waited a little bit longer, but I got antsy.
No, but me and you were at the same point. We're both 2-6. I'm on a 2-game win streak. I think because I'm getting my first 2 wins this year, I have a delusional confidence that I can win a lot more of these games. Where you never know. I should be selling off right now. I definitely should be. What
do you got on your team right now? You'd be looking to sell then.
Jahmyr Gibbs could definitely get shipped out, because I think I paid. Let's see, I can pull it up right here. I paid $47 for him, so he's not
okay. I'd pay $47 for Gibbs. Dude's a stud.
He's not getting capped. He's going
up to.
And Tyreek Hill. I mean, he's $64. He can go back.
Right. Definitely.
Someone else can take him off my hands. But the trade. So this is a good segue while we're kind of in the announcement tab of the show here. Trade deadline is coming up soonish. November 20th, I believe, is the trade deadline. So that puts it 3 weeks away. So for trades to get done, it's coming up soon. I'm sure we'll see. Well, I'm sure we'll see a lot more kind of starting to get thrown around. That the seal was kind of broken on trades now. Now we've had 5 trades or something like that. So
something like that. I had a few more offered at me, some low balls, because they're like, oh look, this dude's selling out. Let's grab these.
They'll always flying. Try and lowball you first.
Oh, of course. And
try and take someone who's a keeper away from you. It's like, no, they're a keeper. I need them.
You got to start high and let them trickle it down.
Well, let's get into the wrap up of last week here. So we'll start at our matchup. We don't have to talk about it too long. But the Aardvark Kings beating Stadium Hot Dogs 174-120.
Dropped a bomb.
It's about time. Everything seemed to go right. I mean, minus Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb didn't do that great. Everybody else had a fantastic week.
Right. Chubb's still getting into himself, I guess.
It's only his second week back.
I mean, they folded his leg like a lawn chair. You're not gonna just jump back in and be the same old guy after that. Especially after, isn't that the same knee he injured before? Same exact knee.
Yeah.
That thing's got to be toast. Just all Terminator knee.
Yeah.
So, but once he gets comfortable with that, I'm sure he'll run hard.
Oh yeah, but looking at your team, a 0 from the Vikings, that's
insane.
But it's not even like they had that terrible of a game. They just didn't do it. No sacks. There was an interception, but
a tough loss for the Vikings.
That has to be the first screw for you on that one.
Yeah,
they've been pretty solid for you throughout the rest of the season.
Definitely.
And then losing Dowdle, because I think I looked at it. He got ill an hour before the game.
I think I just must have forgot to throw somebody in on that.
I don't think anybody you could have, because I think because they were the Sunday night game.
Sunday night. Oh, was it an hour before? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I looked it up and it got announced an hour and a half, 2 hours before game start, and they were the Sunday. So there was literally nobody else. That was just a tough break.
A fucking tragedy, dude. Now you know how the McCaffrey owners feel week 1.
Yeah.
Starting him, and then what did they do? Game time, it wasn't 30 minutes or something, was it? maybe an hour, couple hours, something
Yeah,
like that.
it was like it wasn't like close, but it was like close where it was like, oh shit, damn.
Yeah, I guess I'm not starting McCaffrey, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean benches. You had a pretty good bench. Marvin Harrison getting you 23, Jacoby Myers getting you 17, and Xavier Worthy giving you 13, and Jonathan Taylor 18. Solid bench.
Great, yeah. They could have been better on my. Did my bench put up more points than my fucking starting? Oh no, 81. Okay,
81 to
look at
but
that.
good.
Massive bench total.
Yeah,
Massive. Fucking ridiculous. But you know, what do you do?
exactly. All right, next matchup I have is Gritty Committee beating Make Football Violent again, 153 to 121. Jalen Hurts having an excellent game with 42 points for Billy. Then Joe Mixon having a pretty good game too with 23.
That dude
Across
lights
the
it up,
yeah,
man.
across the board, just kind of not like a. I mean, Jalen Hurts definitely helps with 42 points. The rest of
Yeah,
them
it's a big
just
pull.
just kind of projection hitter points.
Yeah,
Nothing
solid,
crazy, but
very solid.
solid.
Ingram doing well. Like to see the tight ends kind of healing in fantasy. You
Yeah,
know.
it's they're starting to come back around now. Oh, which speaking of, by the way, good. Thanks for bringing that up. The ticker across the bottom has the updated tight end um, points. I went through and counted it all. So first place is White Bronco Boys. They have 5. Uh, Second place is Uncle Buck's Power Drill with 4, and then there's like ties for like third, 7th, and 11th. Tommy, you're in 7th. You're tied. You got 2 tight end touchdowns for the
Oh
same
yeah,
spot.
likely. I was gonna die on that hill. I mean, I think I still have him, don't I? I'm probably gonna die on that hill. Yeah,
Uh,
unfortunately.
hey, you never know.
I mean, I spent $60 on him. He better fucking turn out. Either they better trade fucking Andrews at the end of the season, or obviously, whatever. I'll probably end up
Yeah.
dropping him later in the season for somebody. But
Hey,
you know,
you gave it a shot.
I
So
you really would have thought. He looked like an
he
absolute freak
absolute
out there week
stud
one.
game 1. Yeah.
Dude, game one was ridiculous. Everyone was willing to put some cash up for him, and pretty much all my leagues. And I got him in 2 fucking leagues just to get housed, absolutely housed by him. Just a waste of time.
So
But hey,
there she
man,
goes, though.
yeah, this is true.
Uh, but yeah, so anybody who's watching, tight end pool, yeah, it's going across the bottom. That's updated post
I
weekend.
can't see that ticker actually. Is that on?
It's on the stream.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Sacrifice for some camp time.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so Gritty Committee just having a good week. 153 will win you most weeks.
Absolutely.
Make football.
I don't know. We got some freaks. We got some teams out here that seem to be putting 160, 170 up every other week.
Yeah. I mean, Champ is here has definitely put up. I mean, leaps and bounds the most points out of any other team.
Let's toot his horn.
I think he's like 3 weeks ahead of like the next closest person.
Yeah, he's got to have. I don't even know 1,500 plus points on the season already. Maybe. How much does he have? Yeah, you should look at that. Because it seems every week
he's at 1,250. The next closest person is
right there.
1,181.
It's a pretty big, pretty big gap still, though. I would say
that's like a 1 week gap.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, what is that? 60, 70, something like that. Don't ask me about math questions. But yeah, definitely
61 points.
Oh, is that what that is there?
Yeah, the middle.
Oh yeah, wow. Now, how far is our lowest from our top? Let's see how deep this really gets.
Our lowest would be no game plan 846, 402. I feel like
that's insane. 400 points back.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah, so our hitters are definitely hitting pretty hard this
Yeah.
season. So it's a tough season to win if you're scared of that thought. Let's just say that. If you have to think about it, then it's gonna be a tough back half of the season.
Yeah. As we enter the back half here.
Yeah.
But yeah, good job, Billy. Good win. All right, next matchup. The champ is here, losing to the White Bronco Boys. The White Bronco Boys having an excellent run of it.
Right.
Absolutely. We were just talking about the champ is here, how many points he's put up on the season, and
then this is a dud for him. He threw up a dud.
Yeah.
What can you say? He threw a dud up.
And it's crazy to say 130 is a dud because
right,
130 will get you a win most weeks.
Absolutely.
But White Bronco in any league, just having an absolute solid lineup. If we look at the,
and Jaden Daniels on the bench too.
Yeah,
look at that.
Damn near perfect lineup.
Right. We got some depth here, some good looking depth, especially with Cup coming back. Hopefully, and Puka Nacua was questionable today as well.
Oh, really?
With what was it? I think his knee is aggravated a little bit. They said it's not a big deal though, from what I was reading. So just I think he literally was. Yeah, he's literally quoted to say not a big deal, but enough to be limited at practice. So that's gotta be something, not something you want to see as a Nacua owner at least, but as a Cup owner, you'd love it.
You love to see it.
You love to see it, right? I mean, I love not to wish anything bad on the poor feller, but this is fantasy.
Yeah,
this is fantasy. We take things seriously here,
Exactly. We got a product we have to put out onto the field.
Absolutely. Montgomery also putting up another 16. He's been so solid. Very polished running back, I will say.
And they've actually worked together very well. I think I don't know the last time we saw this in fantasy where RB1 and RB2 just absolutely eats.
Just killing it. Absolutely killing it. And you can start them as RB1s every single week.
Both of them. Yeah, you literally don't need to be like, oh, well, he's RB2, so it's like...
Right.
They both get their touchdowns. They both get their yards. It's just
they're so
scoring offense, and it's just like they're so good.
Like you got Montgomery that just smashes, right? He just smashes, and he can also make a great move and get into open space and just take chunks of yards out. And then Gibbs, obviously, just ridiculously quick, crazy cutback vision. That dude just fucking shoots up, and he's easy yards with these guys, dude. I mean, I can't even think of a duo. I remember Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, when they were killing it a little bit.
Yeah, up in Cleveland.
But it's not like these two.
Not like this. This is it sucks that they play for the Lions, but it is really cool to see.
Yeah, right. Right. Packers and Lions on Sunday too, so it's gonna be a tough matchup for them.
Yeah. Sam Darnold, was that the right start? No, he should have played Baker Mayfield.
We're looking at champ now. Baker. Yeah, I don't know how you doubt Baker, and I don't know why the projections doubt him too. In sleeper,
he's been great.
He's fantastic. Even with nothing, he takes Kate Otten and he says, "Hey, man, you're Gronkowski today." Just lights it up with Otten. Awesome. But yeah, he's got to be solidified as a guy that's going to put up 20, a good chance putting 20 up every week. He has for 8 of 9 games this season. Have they had their bye week yet?
Yes, I believe they have not had their bye.
Okay, so we got a bye coming, but I think he's only put up less than 20 points up twice. The first time was like 18, and the second time was just a dud, I think. But yeah. Dude, the dude's awesome. I got him in another league, and he's an automatic start every week for me.
Yeah, he's a set and forget.
Absolutely.
Tyrone Tracy now, your newly acquired, put up 28.
Love to see that.
Rushing touchdown, 145 rushing yards, and a pair of receptions. Not
with
bad.
Singletary. With Singletary playing?
Yeah, with Singletary playing. I think Singletary only had like 4 or 5 points.
They're like, hey, bud, you're going to keep this spot right here warm, buddy.
Yeah.
Getting Tracy out there. London dropping a dud was a little surprising to me, too, honestly.
Yeah, a little bit.
I thought they were going to play a little bit better.
I think Darnell Mooney is kind of a little bit more of his of Kirk's kind of golden
You think
boy.
so?
It just
you think he likes Mooney more?
I think just from the games I've watched, the couple I've watched, when he gets in trouble, it's always a dump off, or it's always kind of a look. The first look is to Darnell Mooney in those like, oh shit, I gotta move, gotta get rid of it.
Mooney was supposed to be good when he was in Chicago. I mean, everyone had him on their team. We thought he was going to be a beast in Chicago, and that was a nightmare, obviously. Yeah. And then them drafting Fields at that time just ruined that opportunity. So
yeah, and I think it's also Chicago too. Like
it's tough, yeah. Finally getting a 4,000-yard passer if he doesn't get injured for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
Caleb Williams is doing all right. Commendable. But let me ask you this. What do you got? Do you have Drake London or Mooney? Who's got a higher trade value? Why don't you put it down to that?
Higher trade value, I think
personally,
I think Drake London. Yeah, like Drake London has the higher trade value. Like I won't deny that. I'll call it how I see it like that. He has the better trade value, but I just have more belief in Darnell Mooney. From the couple like that, I've only seen like highlights of most of them and a couple games that just were in the area.
Yeah. No, Mooney looks good. I mean, it's not he's no question is that dude is
and he's like kept up with Drake London. Like I think he only has 10 or less fantasy points than him.
Maybe. Yeah, what is London? Is he wide receiver 7 maybe? In our league?
6.
6,
he's got 130 fantasy points. All right, I gotta go over here.
Mooney's not very far behind. He's probably coming up at like 9 or 10 maybe, right?
115. So what I say, 130 to 150, so 15-point difference.
Oh, 13 there? Is that what it says?
15th.
Oh, no, that's 15th. Okay.
So he's not far behind. He's like right there where I can say I believe in him a little bit more than Drake London, but I do see the value, the trade value in Drake London. It'll be the flashier name. It's the
it'll show in the next. I would say it would really show in the next couple of weeks here when they get ready for playoffs and really start fine tuning their offense. We'll see who really stands out because obviously you know how playoffs go. They can one dude can make a complete difference and nobody knows his fucking name, you know?
Yeah.
Like Mostert, way back when he was with the 49ers, that first playoff series he had. Wasn't that Mostert? He just turned up the volume during the playoffs and we all drafted him and then he fucking died.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last season was a real treat from that guy, not gonna lie.
But yeah, so that's sorry, Champ is here. Moves you to 5-3. White Bronco boys to 6-2. To I believe the best team in the league.
Are they?
Let's see if we go to standings again.
Number one right now.
They're tied with Purple Rain.
6-2. Purple Rain was, I would say, coming out of the gate. Purple Rain was probably the favorite. He was pretty stacked coming into the season.
That was a hot horse. That horse was cooking down the track. Week 1 and 2. But
right, absolutely
tapered off, but maintained. It's coming around the corner pretty good, maintaining speed.
I would say for sure.
Next matchup is Danis System beating the Legion of Poon 133 to 107.
Looks like this is just a talent-based matchup with who we got starting here.
Yeah,
what I'm seeing, not a lot going on from Legion of Poon.
Little life there. Josh Jacobs doing pretty good. Pat Mahomes doing pretty good.
For once, right? He finally had
took the risk on D-Hop. Put D-Hop in.
Yes. Unfortunately.
Maybe a week early.
Right. Not very not everybody can come in like Amari Cooper.
He had no one else though. Everybody else is hurt.
It's a tough game. What do you do? I mean, Jacobs is looking great too. Honestly, coming around, I thought he was coming out of the gates real slow.
Yeah, for the first couple weeks was a little slow, but yeah, he's strung together a couple good weeks here. If we look at the game log, 12, 13, 5, 11, 16, 12, 20, 25.
Grant, hold down the fort. I'm gonna grab a beer. All right.
All right. Yeah, Josh Jacobs. I guess not even a bad start at the beginning. Just not what you would hope, really. Um, yeah, a little. Maybe he had nowhere else to go with D Hop. I get it. Madison. How has he done this year? Madison. Okay, not bad. I guess fine for flex. Dana system though, 22 from Kyron Williams, 18 from Kamara, love it. 25 from Kelsey. And everywhere else, I guess he didn't really need much else. 49ers D, great. But I guess Dak did almost hit his projection was 17.78, so 17.72, and he hit projection, we can say. I don't have much else to say about this matchup. It's clear ass whooping from Dana's system. What does bench look like? Oh, Herbert would have been nice. Calvin Ridley, you plug him. That's a tough decision. Tennessee has had a pretty slow passing game. But you have... Okay.
What up? So my Uber driver's a dumbass. He doesn't even know where my house is. But go on.
Looking at Dana's systems team, he started Jordan Addison over Calvin Ridley. Now, Calvin Ridley just had D-Hop moved out of there. They have been kind of a not great passing offense. Is that what is that the move you would have done? Would you have started Addison over Ridley?
Lawrence really likes Brian Thomas Jr., and that's pretty obvious, I'd say. And Ridley, I mean, how many points has he dropped so far this season? He's not doing pretty well, is he? Wide receiver 2, fringe, maybe weekly.
Well,
3?
no, I mean he's in Tennessee, and so now he would be for sure.
Oh, Ridley's in Tennessee now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Man, I keep confusing Jacksonville, Tennessee. But yeah, no, he's still nonetheless not having a banner season.
He's still not. 72 points on the season.
72. Okay, that's it's something.
It's not great. I mean,
no.
He's had one good week, 2 good weeks now. Week 2 he put up 29. Week 8 he put up 22. The rest is like 8, 2, 1. So, but I don't know so he's been doing pretty bad, but you also had D-Hop just shipped out. So it's just kind of him there now. I guess I would have looked at that and said, fuck it. Calvin Ridley, you're up, buddy. And opposed to because Addison is super hit or miss. The rest.
What's going on? Sorry about that. This guy just doesn't know what's going on here. Here, I'm going to jump off for 2 seconds.
All right. All right. Well, I'm going to move on to the next one. All right. Artificial turf toe tapper getting routed by Uncle Buck's power drill. 146 to 104. Wrong direction. That is the wrong direction for AT3 here. Not great. Let's actually look at the Ramondre Stevenson. Yeah, you gotta love seeing that out of Ramondre Stevenson. 23.5. You'll take that out of anybody. You paid 75 for Saquon. It wouldn't have helped you really if he would have put up his projection. You would have. You need to see that though out of a guy you pay 75 for. Mark Andrews turning it around.
All right, we're in it for the long run now. I mean, this guy was parked in my neighbor's garage, standing it there. I'm like, yo, dude, turn around.
The beer
But
comes
anywho,
here.
yeah, here we're good to go now. But I was gonna say, you just said $75 for
For
who did you say?
Saquon. For Saquon.
For Saquon.
Mike had
Yeah.
played 75 for him in the draft, and now, I mean, he's
Yeah.
had a great season. He is
Yes,
running back
absolutely.
one.
He's
But
yeah, he's doing great.
But when you lose 104 to 146 and your $75 player only puts up 12 points, it's kind of like at that price point, like
tough.
he is still RB1. You just don't like seeing that out of your $75 running back.
Yeah, definitely. That money could have been used on quite a few guys.
Yeah.
A few guesses. You know, and one of those guesses might have hit well enough to put about 12 points up this week as well. But what do you do? You know, this is fantasy. We're just guessing our best here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Giving our best educated guess.
Absolutely. So we got to pay attention.
He did lose Stephon Diggs in this match.
Ah, what a shame. And dropped him to waivers as well. Everyone looking for a quick pickup, I guess.
Yeah, wants a little IR sit.
Yeah, I mean, I did that for Reishi Rice.
Year. Oh yeah,
I said Reishi for $2.
I did the same thing with Brandon Ayuk on the show. As Trevor was telling me, he dropped Brandon Ayuk. I literally go silent and just start getting in my phone, and he's talking. I pick up my head, and he gets the notification. He's like, "Did you just pick up Brandon Ayuk while I was talking about it?" I was like,
"That is hilarious."
Yeah, I did.
Man, you got to do what you got to do.
Right? You know what? I almost did that to Diggs. I almost flipped him around, but Ayuk's contract is just a little bit better. Diggs is 21, and I think Ayuk is like 15. So
yeah, I would say that you could even probably trade Diggs as a keeper instead of dropping
IR keeper.
You might find somebody, you know, but I feel like a drop in a keeper league. I mean, was he expensive? How much did he cost him?
Diggs?
I mean, I knew he was a late round pick this season. Okay. Obviously, he played pretty good for the chances he got. He didn't get a lot of receptions, but he made the most of them in the red zone, it seemed like. But yeah, a gamble to keep him at $20 for next season, obviously. But you know,
yeah,
I think he's worthy of a roster spot. Yeah. I would say.
Lad. Now, if we go across to the other side, Lad McConkey putting up 34.1. You just took him in too.
Showing me what I needed to see from him to make me feel like everyone was right about him, you know? But it's just one game. But you got to remember that it didn't happen on accident. He's the wide receiver 1 there, and he's a rookie. It wasn't an accident he threw up a massive performance. I mean, it's almost to be, you know, expected to a sense. Maybe not 30 points, but hey, if McConkey drops 15 to 20 points next week, I don't think anybody's going to be super surprised by it.
No. Well, he's had a 14-point week, a 17-point week.
Yeah.
8 and 9 sprinkled in there. But then a 34.
Obviously, at wide receiver 23, about 13.8 a game there I've seen.
Yep.
So, but hopefully that second half turns around for him, just like it did for Amon-Ra, you know, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. It happens a lot, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking for that. Out of Marvison and this fellow here. If it happens,
the lad,
the lad himself. Yes.
Najee having a resurgence, it seems. That's, I think,
for sure.
2 or 3 good weeks in a row, actually, and I don't.
Yeah, from a zero to hero.
3 good weeks in a row.
Yeah, I thought this dude was a bum to start the draft.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch him with a 64.5-foot pole.
No, neither would I. What did he end up going for in the auction?
How much was it?
Yeah,
$19.
That's a little, I wouldn't say it's spendy because he has his value, of course.
Yeah.
But a lot of people scared that Jaylen Warren, right, was going to take his job there.
Yeah.
But he hasn't really shown any pizzazz this season either, I would say.
No.
Nothing to take Nate's job.
last year he did. I mean, he showed sparks last year of like, oh shit, if you put him in an RB1 spot, he could, people
Warren.
being that like,
Yeah.
oh, I got a sleeper. Warren.
Absolutely.
He was in that talks. This year
thought he was
he's
going to be
fallen off though compared to that.
Yeah. Game script maybe. They're playing very well.
And Najee is playing very well. I've seen a couple highlights where he just busts, where he breaks out and he's just kind of gone.
Oh yeah, he's back to form. His rookie season, maybe I would say.
Yeah, for sure. He's looking great. Didn't see that coming. So Uncle Buck has gotten very lucky this year, and he's making himself out to be a contender with
Absolutely.
some of these moves he's making.
Yep. Now that he's got Lamb and Jefferson, also Henry, which I'm sure he got for a decent price. I would assume a lot of people didn't have faith coming in to this season. I don't know why. I mean, it's Derrick Henry. You know,
got him for 31. So next year he would be
little spendy still. I would say actually
he'd be $47 next year.
I would probably keep him at 47, depending on how the rest of the season goes. Even regardless of how the season goes, I'm probably going to keep him, unless obviously barring any insane injury. I mean, he's getting older. How old is he? 31 now? 30?
It'll tell us here. 30 years old.
30-year-old. He unk status. He's getting up there. But no, he's definitely to be kept for another year. I mean, the dude's a tank of a human.
Yeah.
He's not good because he's insanely fast. He's good because he's good at moving his weight the right way, getting downfield.
Yeah. And just
super good.
It always keeps his feet moving. It's just like he makes contact and he's just a force.
Oh yeah. I mean, how many highlight reels do we have of him punching people in the face?
Yeah, literally punching them into the ground.
Just fucking face grab, bam, like bullying middle school kids out there. Hilarious.
All right. Last matchup for week 8. Purple Rain almost crossing 200 points for the first time this season. He came up short though at 195. Purple Rain was the highest scoring team this week. That just so happened to face off against the lowest scoring team this week of no game wins, 91 points.
So it never mattered.
Yeah, so it never even mattered.
It never mattered at all.
Travis, that means
love it.
For I think the 3rd or 4th time this year, you are the lowest scoring team. That is $15 to the side pot.
Some wallet pain for you.
Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Zelly. Again, I say it every week. Talk to him about it, how the smooches conversion rate. Maybe our treasurer takes smooches. You never know.
Maybe.
Just work it out with him. You got to figure out what the exchange rate on the $15 to how many smooches.
Right.
But work it out with him.
All right.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
But to take a look at the Jacobs lineup here. I mean, we don't have to spend very long on this, but Kyle Pitts with 30, Jamar Chase with 20, HN with 26, Robinson with 23, Allen with 23, Debo with 12. Just
an absolute hammer, a fucking dripping hog of a lineup. I mean,
Lions D puts up 30.
Yeah, that's crazy. Is anybody on the bench? Would anybody on the bench have gotten him to 200? Doesn't look like it.
Oh, if he would have put
16 there,
if he would have put Laporta in his flex,
which would have been an insane gamble. Laporta has not been.
That maybe would put him half a point short of 200.
Still no beans there.
Because that would be a difference of 4.2 points.
Absolutely. Yeah, this guy's whole bench is full of guys that people would start as well. The whole team is starters. 90. Everybody on that team is 90% rostered.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, and they're all probably mostly like 70 to 80% start.
Let's ask this now. A great team this season, can't doubt that. But how many of these guys is he going to be able to keep for next season? Is he going to be dangerous next season as well?
Let's see here. 18 on Jamar Chase, you'll probably keep him.
Absolutely, no question.
Josh Allen, I think he got him at for 15. He'll probably keep him. Bijan, 57. Bijan's going back.
He's getting back to the
A-Chain, he'll probably keep A-Chain. Pitts, he's probably keeping Pitts. Even at 7, right. 17 goes up by 8.
It really depends on the rest of the year again on Pitts. Obviously we've had so much bullshit with Pitts over the last few seasons, drafting him high, thinking he's going to be, what they say he is, just to bench him and drop him every year, unfortunately.
Debo's salary is 5, so that's a keep. He's also got Burrow. Let's start at Mason. Mason, he paid 48 for. He's going back.
Spendy boy, for sure.
Jameson Williams, you probably thought, even though he's 5, he's suspended or hurt all the time.
Yeah.
Chase Brown, 9, maybe.
I like what Chase Brown's showing us this season.
Chase Brown's been looking pretty good for an RB2. I mean,
yeah, I wouldn't be mad about it at all.
Some good shit. Laporta paid 11 for. You probably keep Laporta. So
it looks like this team is going to be just as dangerous next season, depending on how. But it seems like there's not a lot of guys that are going to make him go spend, $40-$50 for any keepers here. I mean, these are some. This is a cheap team that's stacked with the teeth. I mean,
this might be. We might see this one in the playoffs for the next couple of years if
I agree.
Get managed the same.
Absolutely.
Tail of the tape. Or the other side of the coin, no game plan. I mean, I think he put out the best he could. Olave, you could plug in. Yeah, you could put him in for Demario Douglas.
Yeah. McCaffrey being on IR, obviously, it sucks. Love getting injured again. Can't control that. Walker putting up a dud. He's been projected for a very high.
Is that who you would have started, though? So you have Tua and you have Jordan Love. Jordan Love plays Jacksonville. Tua plays Arizona. You're sticking with Jordan Love still?
You kind of have to. He's that guy that's going to throw 4 touchdowns. And, even if he doesn't throw for 300 yards, you're going to get very close to 20 points week in and week out. So I'm probably going to start Love, especially with Tua having that nasty concussion again, and just not a good start for Tua. So a good decision there to leave him on the bench for sure, I would say.
The rest of his team just not. I mean, he's been bit by injury bad. I mean, he had McCaffrey IR, sure. Jordan Brooks IR.
He was injured before the draft, wasn't he, Brooks? Or did he do a combine? Did he do the combine?
I assume he did the combine.
I can't remember if he got injured last season in college before the draft even.
Oh.
Still a good pick. I mean, the guy is a stud. When running back coming into the NFL, that running backs that are good like that, usually they make a decent impact in the NFL.
Yeah.
So obviously Walker, him too, a couple years ago, it showed when he finally started. He busted out and had a great rookie year.
Yeah.
So hoping for the same, obviously, for that feller down there on IR.
But yeah, so I mean, not much else to say about this one other than no game plan. 91 points, just ain't going to do it for you this week. Yep. Be a goldfish.
Yep. Just forget about it.
All right. Let's move to week 9 now. Let's move to the preview.
Boy.
All right, we'll start up with my matchup. Aardvark Kings versus the Legion of Poon. This is 2 bottom feeders going at it right now.
The heavyweight bout of the week. Possibly. We don't know everybody that's playing yet, but this is going to be an interesting
right now.
matchup.
Yeah, I think this could be one of the better matchups this week. I haven't looked at all of them quite yet, but
neither have I. I wanted to come into this fresh and be surprised with you.
We've both scored like very similar points on the season. Like I want to say I'm only beating him by like 20 or 30 points,
Sure.
something like that.
You're showing a lot of upside coming down the last couple weeks, though, so you could definitely
delusional confidence.
I mean, you do have Mooney, Otten obviously taking over. McLaurin's great. Tyreek Hill, Gibbs, Chubb. This is a team that can win. This is definitely a team that can win. I mean, Jacobs is great rushing, but is he going to score that touchdown? Hopefully, you never know. He seems to have been hot. T. Higgins, I mean, God knows what the hell he can do at this point. I mean, is he playing? Is T. Higgins even going to play, or is this an unset lineup?
This might be an unset lineup because it says did not practice and he's doubtful.
Okay, so safe to say that we're not going to see him during your guys' matchup. But does he have anybody to replace him? Obviously, the injury bite happens. That's a decent pick. You know, he does get quite a few targets out there. You know, he's not a superstar by any means, but he's
an any given Sunday kind of guy. He's a guy that you know he can catch it. You know he's very talented. Most weeks his number's not being called. But you could get that. You know that when his number does get called, he will rise to the occasion and just have great weeks.
Yep. You're looking for a third down with 19 to go to the end zone. If you want to get him in the end zone, but very possible.
So he's always that threat. He's a big threat that
absolutely
makes you nervous.
Right. So we're safe to say that he's probably going to be replacing Higgins this week.
I would think so. Yeah, because Higgins is even projected 0. So
Bowers though, Brock Bowers, great tight end. He just barely got me at the auction for him, $1 over me, and I am so mad about that because obviously I'd have loved to keep Bowers for next year. He's going to be awesome. He's just a good football player. Really student of the game, great motor, you know.
So, all right. So here's what me and Trevor have been doing. So for my matchup, I'm gonna go through the keys to success that the Legion of Poon needs to beat the Aardvark Kings, and then you'll go over my keys to success.
All right.
Then we'll flip flop it. Come your matchup. I'll do your keys to success, and you do your opponents.
All right.
So keys to success for Legion of Poon. He needs Javonte Williams to have a good game. 11.8 points isn't going to cut it. You got to put up more than that. He needs 15, 16 points out of Javonte Williams. Same with Josh Jacobs, but I believe Josh Jacobs can do it more consistently. So I'm not worried about Josh Jacobs. T. Higgins, get Keenan Allen in there, and you need a Keenan Allen week. You need a good week from Keenan Allen. D-Hop. I just don't. Against Tampa Bay, I don't think it's this week. D-Hop is going to shine. D-Hop is going to pop. Is it against Tampa Bay second week? I don't know. You need it. Your keys to success is you need it, John, but I'm not banking on that. So I'm going to predict he keeps it sub projection at 6 points maybe. So that's where it's even more important for Javonte Williams to make up for that.
Definitely.
Alexander Madison. I don't know.
Tough one. What is gonna happen this week?
He needs Alexander Madison to actually have a good week, which kind of few and far between.
Definitely.
And Commanders D, I like Commanders D. That's a good pickup. Playing against the Giants. Smart.
Should have some points there.
Yeah, and Commanders, I think, they've I think their run defense, like in the last 3 games, has been like some of the best in the league, or it's their pass defense.
They're doing pretty good all around, I would say. I think the last time I checked defensive rankings, they were top 10, I believe. So they're definitely having a great season defensively.
Yeah,
I think last year they were pretty hot defensively as well, weren't they? They had a great
they had a
defensive season last year as well.
Yeah. All right, so what would you say are my keys to success now?
All right, let's take a peek. I mean, why don't you scroll up a little bit here? Oh wait, faces in the way. Kirk Cousins, he's going to have a good game, in my opinion. I mean, the guy threw for 500 fucking yards. What week was that? Just week 6 or 5? 500 yards. Vikings fans just crying out to the heavens everywhere, loving seeing their boy have a great week. That was fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, that was if you guys didn't see the Atlanta game where he threw for 500, man, that was a cool game to watch. So he's going to give you your 20 points, I think, against Dallas. They've been reeling this season. Obviously, the same team as last year. Unfortunately, I think it's just having, bad coaching decisions. Get rid of McCarthy, man. I mean, fucking A. Get rid of Jerry Jones as well. That dude it's time for him to go. I think Dallas is going to fall on their face, and I think you're going to grab some points there. Chubb, man, I want to say that he's going to do okay. We really want to see Chubb do good, obviously, because he's a great dude. I don't know. Just because you're a good dude doesn't mean you're going to put up 20 points on fantasy because you're coming back. It's not Adrian Peterson. It's not Saquon Barkley. They had young injuries. This guy's getting old. I mean, I would love to see a great week out of Chubb. He could put up 10 points. He could be touchdown dependent. We're just going to have to see more from him. I think he's going to have to at least knock one into the end zone here, though.
I think he's super touchdown dependent.
He's going to need to knock one in. Jahmyr Gibbs is really going to create some distance between you and the other team here that I actually can't even see the header of now. Who are you playing?
Legion of Poon.
Legion of Poon. Yeah, Gibbs is going to put some distance on the Legion of Poon for sure. I mean, this is a guy he could go for 30 this week. It's extremely high ceiling. Shit, he could be a 40-point guy. I think you're going to get some points out of him, so I'm not even worried about that as a key for success. If he throws up a dud, it just can't happen. Obviously, they're playing the Packers. Packers have a pretty solid run defense. They've had a really good defensive year, obviously. More against the pass, which might have Gibbs running more with McKinney having, 7 picks on the season. Already 6 or 7 picks on the season. So maybe they might be inclined more to run it with Montgomery and Gibbs, which is a good thought.
Great one.
So yeah. And then Tyreek, though, I mean, we gotta make sure that he's having a Tyreek week, I mean, he hasn't not had a lot of those. He's got to be wide receiver 30 right now, 40.
Yeah, he's had one Tyreek week. They have him at 12.
Wide receiver ranked 12. Wow. He's not ranked very well in my sleeper league. That's
I wonder how that's
not half PPR.
Considered.
Wow. How many points did he put up last week?
Last week he put up 13.
He's had so many bad weeks.
6, 7, 8, 2. He had a 31-point week 1. So I think that's kind of like padding.
There we go.
That's padding the stat.
Well, let's just say he's played wide receiver 40 for a lot of the season. Maybe not sure. 40. That's a little mean. We'll give him 26, 27.
Yeah, we'll split the difference.
We're talking about Tyreek Hill, man. This guy's 31 years old, but he's still the cheetah. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin has been a stud. I think he's going to do good. That's definitely going to be a key to success. Picking up some extra points if Legion of Poon blows up. Terry McLaurin, I think it'd be important for him to have another good game.
Yeah, it kind of keeps me relevant. Yeah, if Legion of Poon kind of.
Absolutely. And then just another confidence thing going down the stretch of the season here. Otton, I don't necessarily think Otton's going to be a key to success, but he's going to be good. You already have Gibbs, McLaurin, Tyreek, and Chubb. Hopefully these guys are having a great week and it doesn't come down to your tight end scoring 30 points for you to win this week. I don't think it's a major key for you, but I think that this guy is also going to create a lot of distance from Legion of Poon because, I mean, you saw last week, that dude went off. He looked great. He looks like number 1 receiver in Baker's eyes. So obviously this dude is probably going to have a great week. So, and they have KC, which does have a great defense, but Otton's a tough guy, and I think he's going to be able to snag some receptions even in double coverage, and I think they're going to be getting the ball to him, so they don't really have any other options. So he's going to pick up some good points for you and have some more confidence in the next week. Mooney, he's going to put enough points up for you as well. Key is success. Obviously, he's going to have to show out that he can still stay relevant, obviously, with Drake London. I mean, we want to continue to see that out of both of them, putting their points up. And then Reichard, make your kicks, man. Bears could have a great game, too. Reichard just got to knock them back. Obviously, Bears D having a decent season. Arizona, let's just hope to God Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison don't light shit up.
Yeah.
And you should put some points up. But I think looking at these two teams, there's not a great chance I see for Legion of Poon winning. There's just no firepower there. There's gonna a lot of things have to go right for you, and a lot of things or for him, and a lot of things have to go wrong for you. And I just don't think that's gonna happen. So I think you're gonna have a great time this week. You're having a fun week.
I write you down as you think I'm winning.
I'm definitely gonna say Aardvark Kings is taking Legion of Poon this week.
So Legion of Poon has TJ Hawkinson. He's also got Brock Bowers. Does that help his team at all? Do you think TJ Hawkinson over Brock Bowers, or are you sticking with Brock Bowers?
I mean, you gotta go with Brock. I mean, he's tied at number 2 on the season, and he's their guy. I mean, he's
tight end 1.
Tight end 1 in this league. So tight end 1 in this league. Obviously, Minshew likes the fucker. I mean, he's going to keep throwing the ball, and Bowers is very versatile. That dude can cut, run. He's all over the place for a large tight end like that. Yep. So yeah, I'm keeping Bowers in. We haven't seen anything from who is it, Hawkinson, that he had on the bench, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything from Hawkinson yet. So
this is supposed to be his first week back.
Yeah. But nonetheless, obviously the Rams are very healthy right now with targets. I mean, they just got Nakua and Kupp back. So why even consider starting Hawkinson? I would even consider trading him at this point.
Yeah. Well, he sat on him this long. He spent 45 on him or 37 on him to keep him.
He's got to die on that hill.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's got to die.
At least I would be so stubborn that I would have to. There's no way I spend all that money to keep him in the draft, sit on him for 9 weeks just to trade him away. I did that. That was with Nick Chubb. I had like 3 or 4 trade offers. Like the week Nick Chubb was supposed to come back, all of a sudden like 3 or 4 trade offers. Like, no, I drafted him and sat on him for 7 weeks. Now all of a sudden everybody wants to start trying to grab him. Like, I would have entertained an offer like halfway through his injury, halfway through his IR stint.
Sure. But you've been waiting too long.
Yeah.
You could have grabbed guys off the waiver. You could have grabbed guys like Tracy, guys like who else has been taken off the waiver. That's pretty odd. I mean, obviously, Shaheed was injured, but a guy like that in your bench in the early weeks, obviously I had him, and he was a part of some of the success I had earlier in the season. But either way, you could have definitely had a spot open. But either way, you can't trade him at that point. No. It's too much in.
All right, next matchup is Danis System versus AT3, the Artificial Turf Toe Tappers. Danis System already having 18 points because of Tank Dell.
Awesome. Love to see that.
Yep, helps them a little bit. Pushed them up in the projections. But this is kind of a fallen apart AT3 team, Artificial Turf Toe Tappers, because I think they start like 3-1 or something like that, and they start hot, but now kind of falling off.
Yeah, falling off a little bit. Obviously, starting Flacco. I don't think he was thinking by week 9 he'd be having to start Flacco. Obviously,
he benched CJ Stroud.
A bold move. Flacco looks pretty good right now, though. I'm happy about Flacco's play if I'm an Indiana fan. So, I think he can definitely throw another 250, 300, but it's Minnesota.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be tough, But
yeah,
I guess if there was ever a place to do it at, I guess it would be at Minnesota.
Right.
A little revenge
Like if you're gonna,
for Indy.
yeah, for sure. But are we gonna see Minnesota crumble? I mean, obviously Gilmore's injured, right?
I have no idea. Cashman is injured.
How's Minnesota secondary looking right now?
Little beat up.
Sure. So obviously Flacco could definitely go off there. I could see him having a great game. Who does Stroud? Who do the Texans play?
The Texans played the Jets.
Oh, they played the game's over. Obviously, seeing after that, I mean Stroud dropped another fucking dud, didn't he? It's an awful game for him, I thought. Would they lose 20 to freaking, I don't know, between 20 and 10 points ahead. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But another dud, obviously. So maybe it's a good thing that he started Flacco. Personally, I probably, unfortunately, would have started Stroud over Flacco.
I think I would have also. I think just because the Jets haven't been doing great.
And, no, right.
Yeah, even though he's down receivers, I don't know. He did so well last year that he's shown sparks to do well this year of that.
Absolutely.
I would have just left him there and not thought a second thing of it.
Yep, absolutely. Kind of like those starting Patrick Mahomes right now. Obviously, I'm not comparing the two, but people that are still starting Patty with 9 interceptions and 8 fucking touchdowns on the season and a front runner for MVP for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Yet you're still starting him every week at fantasy. It's just one of those things, like you were saying before, just die on the hill type of thing,
Yeah, you got to put him in and just. It was the decision you made, the guy you chose, and.
Right. But Stroud is a good quarterback. I mean, he can give you 20 points. You expect 20 points, maybe 30 out of him. So, it's not like he's had the worst season ever. So, but nonetheless, Flacco is probably going to have a decent game with a banged up Minnesota secondary. So,
yeah.
That's a good feeling starting him, obviously.
Alvin Kamara, Kyren Williams, scary combo to go up against. Kamara's playing Carolina. He should do pretty well. Kyren Williams has had a touchdown in 15 straight games or something stupid like that.
Possibly going to break McCaffrey's record, or was McCaffrey's 15 straight rushing touchdowns or just offensive touchdowns in a row?
I have no idea.
I can't remember if he tied the record going into last season, was it? I believe, because I believe the season before he had a few touchdowns in a row, and then heading into last season he did. But nonetheless, I mean, he scored something like 15 or 16. I can't remember. But
yeah,
Kyren Williams definitely, if he's had 15 in the last,
it's something crazy like that, or 12, or it's something crazy. It's just a stupid amount of touchdowns. So he's going to do well. I don't see any reason why that's going to stop. Still sticking with Addison in the wide receiver column. Again, I brought it up last time. Calvin Ridley. Are you playing him over Addison? Calvin Ridley at New England?
I'm probably not. I'm not feeling good about Ridley. Obviously, New England's defense actually can have a pretty decent game from what we've seen already. And Ridley, you're just really not looking for points when you're starting Ridley. It's kind of a cleanup, fringe flex maybe.
Yeah.
Deeper leagues, obviously a solid flex in a deeper league, but we got 12 guys in this league.
Yeah.
So, but nonetheless, Addison, he could be pretty good. Barring, especially if Jefferson gets hurt or something, double covered, never know. Addison's that upper back.
Stutter. Dana's system is starting JSN. Artificial Turf Toe Tappers are starting Tyler Lockett. Who's gonna come out ahead? Who's gonna be the better receiver out of the two? Both play for Seattle.
Man, I wonder.
And they're both projected 13 points. That's going to be I feel like the
That's
make
a
or break
tough one.
that's going to be the make or break in this matchup.
It definitely could be. Or it could be depending on what Jaden Reed does. Obviously, he needs to show that he's still a big part of that offense. It's been a tough couple of weeks for him, but
Yeah,
I like Lockett. You gotta like Lockett.
Who doesn't like Lockett? Everyone likes Lockett.
Yeah, there's a reason he's been rostered in 80, at minimum 80% of leagues every season for how many years? 6 fucking years.
Yeah.
So, and then Najigba, or Jackson Smith Najigba, JSN. I think he could have a great game, but unfortunately, they are both competing for targets from the same motherfucker. So that's going to be if it comes down to those two guys, it's going to be, their heads are going to be banging on a wall, just hoping for the game to end every time one of them grabs another reception,
Yeah.
So that's going to be a tough one. You can't really guess. I'm going to throw it up to 50-50, honestly, on those two. Yeah, I like them both.
That is, I don't know if there's a better duo to say that with, because it really is. You have DK looming over both of them.
And DK could destroy both of these guys' games. He could leave them both 2 targets apiece. He could go off for 140 and then kiss these two goodbye for the week. You just, you don't know. So the entire depth chart's rostered. So it's going to be an interesting week for Seattle receivers for sure.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Dana's system. I'm going to pick them to win. I think it's just a better.
I agree.
It's the running back core that does it. I mean, sure, Barkley is better than both of them, but both of them are better than both of them, like combined.
Yes, they. That's a dirty duo there, Kamara and Williams.
Yeah, because any week
Stevenson is looking good though.
Yeah, he had a great week last week. I think he was hurt a little bit.
They were talking about benching him. They said, "Oh, he's officially benched for Antonio Gibson," and I'm pretty sure everyone in the world was like,
"What the fuck?
What the fuck happened? Why the fuck are you over fumbles over the fumble king? You're gonna start the fumble king over somebody for fumbling that is just having a rough couple of weeks here."
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, everybody knew that. Let's just say if you don't get all your information off of Fantasy Pros article every Wednesday morning, you're gonna know that Ramondre Stevenson is gonna put some points up and possibly even 2 touchdowns. He's a great red zone guy. If they can get in the red zone, Stevenson is gonna give you a touchdown. If they can see that red zone 4, 5, 6 times, I think it's gonna be a good can be a good look for Stevenson. But a lot of things got to go right, like you were saying, obviously. So
what am I chalking you down for?
I'm also gonna roll with Dana's system here. I mean, I don't have a lot of faith in Pittman right now, and Andrews having a weird season. Jaden Reed, like I just said, the last 2 weeks below 10. He's got to make a statement here. So us fantasy managers at least feel a little better about keeping him and not trading him or making any rash decisions. But yeah. Some good things need to happen.
All right. Next matchup I have is the makings of the start of a blowout. Gritty Committee versus the White Bronco Boys. Gritty Committee already has 75 on the board to the White Broncos 8.
Dripping hog of a start.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Look at that. I mean, Garrett Wilson last night, that catch was sensational, but obviously comparing it to George Pickens' double foot tap dance, no call touchdown. I mean, I see why they made Garrett Wilson's touchdown.
Yeah, it looked like the shin went down a little bit before.
He had rolling action.
Yeah. So it wasn't like
I don't know how he did
2 foot. It was 2 foot and then rolling shin.
Right. Stupid rule. I mean, Pickens was so in the middle of the end zone when that ball was secured, but you just gotta
and a clear double single foot toe tap.
Two solid flat feet on.
Yeah,
it was
1, 2.
Yeah. Like that almost proves the theory for a lot of people that think, okay, so what happens if I catch a ball in the end zone uncovered on 1 foot, and I hop out of the end zone on the opposite side. Is that an incompletion? I think that's enough evidence to say something as stupid as that situation. Yes, that's an incomplete catch. That's the NFL, though, unfortunately. So,
but Breece Hall putting up 10, which Garrett Wilson made up for that. Joe Mixon putting up 16. Yeah. Great.
Stud. Mixon's been
great start for Gritty Committee. You hate to see it if you're the White Bronco boys. I mean, you have the rest of your team right now. Your kicker only putting up 8. That's okay. We ain't worried about it. That ain't bad.
Yeah, some great people left, or some great football players have yet to start grabbing some points from here. I mean, Jalen Hurts obviously put a 40 last week.
Yeah.
So he's got Jacksonville. So, he's got Jacksonville, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, Philly's playing Jacksonville, so he should do all
right.
They
could run on him. Yep. And then Ingram obviously could have a good Eagles secondary. I think we've all known it's been an absolute fraud for 2 years now. Eagles secondary fell apart after the Super Bowl, and that's just the way she goes.
I mean, that whole team's kind of falling apart.
It's sad to see. They're
literally imploding. Sirianni shaved his head.
Oh my God, he's in his winter arc. Yes, he's having a tough coaching career here in the last couple of years, but they look okay. They look okay. Good enough to win.
Yeah, good enough to win, but the cracks are slowly starting to form.
Yeah, obviously losing Jason Kelce was huge, just some of the huge, absolutely huge. Some of the worst news you could hear as an Eagles fan, or even as a Barkley owner, or anything of the sort. Obviously, anything Eagles related. That dude, I mean, he's a beast. They're gonna make a statue of him.
Yeah.
Going to the Hall of Fame. It's a tough loss, but nonetheless, they're doing okay. So
Aaron Jones should do pretty good against Indy, I think.
I like that.
Gritty Committee's primed up to be good, to be great.
Yeah, Viking fans are happy about that acquisition for sure. He is a stud out there when he's not hurt. But
when he's not hurt.
He's going to find you guys some third downs, and he's going to push Jefferson a little closer to the end zone, if not himself. So
for the White Bronco boys, pretty good 1-2 punch in the running back category of Montgomery and Kareem Hunt. Cooper Kupp, Brian Thomas.
We like Brian Thomas, but is he okay? What's wrong with him? His chest, right?
Chest, limited practice, questionable for week 9.
Somebody hit their finisher on him last week, and we don't know if he's going to be available. Obviously, we'll see, but he's a great start if he is.
And he's taking a shot on Tucker Kraft.
Oh, I like it. Was he dropped on waivers, I believe, this week?
Yes.
Tucker Kraft?
Yes,
because I dropped Jacoby Myers because I had to make some room for the people that, I'm taking a long shot on, but hopefully it works out. Jacoby never gave me any good feelings like he was going to be a stud for years to come, and I don't need him. So obviously we see Kraft now on the White Bronco boys team. We'll see. 9 points projected. He's doing okay. Obviously, is Love going to start this week?
Yeah.
We'll see. Pretty dependent on Love, I feel like.
And he's got no other tight end on the roster, so he's made his decision. He's sticking to it.
Yeah, nothing's gonna change. I think it's a good choice, though. Hopefully, Love's trending-ish. Looks like towards playing. He said, quote, I don't remember what article, but said he was feeling okay. He's on pace to playing. I'm sure whoever has Jordan Love right now would really tell us everything about it, but. Something like that.
Yeah. Now I'm looking at Billy's, if we want to go back to Billy's for a minute before we make our final picks here on this one. Malik Neighbors in his starting lineup. Devonta Smith on his bench. Is that what you would do, or are you flipping it around the other way?
Okay, we got go back up. We got Devonta Smith and Tillman, actually. And then, who is he starting in place?
Malik Neighbors.
You got to start Neighbors. You have to. He might get 17 receptions. He might get 40 receptions. You gotta start Neighbors.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing Washington, tough fucking defense. But I could eat those words for sure because obviously Smith has Jacksonville.
Yeah.
They could just it could be the AJ Brown show though. They could pick AJ Brown, stick with him all game, see nothing of Smith, or it could be the other way around. Tillman could blow up, but he's not really in the conversation when it comes between those two. Obviously, I'm starting Neighbors. I'm gonna start Neighbors. I like him. I mean, he's had a great year, and obviously he's going to command quite a few targets out there. So confidently, I'd say I'm going to start Neighbors.
Yeah. Okay.
Smith is a great start too, though. I'm not mad about a Smith start.
Yeah, they're both great starts. That's why it's a tough thing to answer.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what? I'm gonna be different.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna give it the White Bronco boys. I believe in their comeback.
Let's see
I see the path for the White Bronco boys.
Okay. You gotta like Monty and Daniels. You gotta like Kupp and Thomas. Hopefully he's healthy. Man, that's a tough one because I mean you got Breece Hall. Like you said, it's the start of a blowout. I'm going gritty committee all day. Obviously, I like your betting odds though if you're trying to win some money.
I'm definitely it's definitely the underdog.
You're gonna win a lot of money if you win that bet.
If this one hits, it's gonna hit.
Oh, big time.
There's a path, but
right.
Good luck to the White Bronco boys.
Definitely, I would love to see it happen. I mean, it could happen. These guys could all dud out. You never know.
All right, next matchup is Make Football Violent Again against Purple Rain. Now, Make Football Violent Again already has a 22-point start from Davante Adams. Love to see it finally.
Yeah, finally. Holy shit.
Is this week 2 with the Jets for Davante or week 3?
Yeah, week 2 with the Jets and only his second 20-point performance of the season, I believe. In this league, I think in this league too. Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure he's only had 2 20-pointers in this league.
Yeah, you are right. 10, 26, 8, 0, 0, 0, 6, 9, 22.
Right. And, obviously him being at $37 there, I see you want so much more from him. And you know that he can give it to you as well. It's fucking Davante Adams. I feel like he was one of those guys that was underrated when he was really good all the way up until when they were glorifying Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams' relationship, like at the very end. But for the most part, very underappreciated for years.
Yeah, you knew he was scary, but it was always like, it's just Davante Adams.
He didn't have his name value now is tenfold of what it was in 2019. Just when he was still having 1,000-yard seasons, but just not obviously what he is now. So, but. Either way, he spent $37 on him. It's your bed. You're sleeping in it. There might be some fleas in there, but you're starting Davante Adams. I mean, you kind of got it.
Yeah, you have to. And right now, it's paying off. You're going up against Purple Rain, the number 1 team in the American division. And
big matchup.
That's what you're going to need across the board right now.
It's looking good for him, though. Actually, I don't think that it's a terrible. Starting lineup for him.
Eckler makes me nervous just because Brian Robinson has just been the guy. Many men. God, I gotta get that on the soundboard. Every time we talk about Brian Robinson Jr., we got to get a soundboard where then it just hits you with the many men.
Yeah, he got shot, didn't he? Isn't that what it was?
Yeah.
Gotta love the NFL, man. Just go play football. Stay away from that stuff, man.
But
that's great.
So Austin Eckler makes me nervous because just like I said, B-Rob's the guy.
Yeah, for sure. Eckler, if he gets some receptions, grabs a couple points that way. I mean, obviously he's a receiving back. If you have Eckler, hopefully, your other guys getting hurt, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
No.
So.
Lamar Jackson should do pretty good for him. He is very much dependent on DeAndre Swift.
Yes, he needs him to ball out again.
I want to say in all 3 of his wins have to probably be DeAndre Swift's best weeks.
I mean, but the thing is, what did he do? He ran for 120 some yards, 18 carries last week, the week before that. This guy is commanding all sorts of points. I mean, he's a fucking
Yeah,
monster.
29, 20, 21, 23. Yeah,
He's got to be wide receiver or running back one for the last 4 weeks. I would say he's got to be. I mean,
oh yeah,
these are
in the
some
last
huge,
4.
huge points, obviously,
Yeah.
and he's getting over 100 and 120, 140, 150 scrimmage yards in during this span when he's playing, and it's like,
Yeah.
holy, where did this guy come from? It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm starting him. Obviously, you got to start him.
Yeah.
Automatic.
So
But he needs him to put
that makes Make Football Violent again a low key, like sleepy, dangerous team.
Very
like,
EP dangerous. Yes.
Very EP dangerous.
Yes. We'll see what he could get going here, but
you're going up against just a loaded Purple Rain. I mean, we saw him put up 190 last week. I don't think we're gonna see that again from him this week.
You know, 190. How are his matchups? I think if we're gonna squeeze make football great again into a bottle here, you really got to look at the matchups of all these superstars.
I can actually give you the strength of schedule stat here in a second.
Because I mean that you really got to take that into consideration if make football violent again, right? Is that what it is? Violent or great? Make football violent again. If he's gonna squeeze into that bottle.
All right.
You're really hoping these guys can dud out on some good defenses.
All right. The schedule difficulty. Make Football Violent again is tied for seventh difficult schedule.
Okay.
Purple Rain.
Bad side, obviously.
Is 12th. They have the easiest schedule.
Oh, so it's the bigger the number,
the
easier it is. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, first would have the hardest schedule. So 12. So
12 for Purple Rain.
But I mean, we're not taking away his 190 week.
No, that was insane. He's got guys on his team that are just, no matter how much you wish and pray to the Lord that his team isn't going to put up enough points to beat you, there's just so much going on there where you're better off just turn your phone off, watching football, just have a good day. Yeah. Look tomorrow. Just have a fun day with your family or your friends. Don't look at your phone.
Yeah, don't look at it. You can check tomorrow.
Yes, look tomorrow.
So he's got Kyle Pitts and he's got Sam Laporta. Where's your head on that? Are you both of them? I mean, Kyle Pitts is just kind of like turning it around, starting to do better, and Laporta is in the valleys part of his peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
So and Kyle Pitts still hasn't wowed me much this year.
Let's look at Pitt's statistics here for the last couple of weeks. Let's see if this recent performance really,
30, 13,
makes them look better.
10, 15, 0, 7, 5, 11. So 30 was last week, but he's getting plenty of targets, just not bringing in.
Just based off of this, you kind of gotta feel that you're starting Pitts because I think we already all know Laporta's stats. I mean, he's been a trade target a little bit. I mean, he hasn't had a superb season, but a 17 point week. There are just so many mouths to feed over there in Detroit, and that playbook is fucking thicker than any team's playbook in the NFL. You just don't know if, they're going to shake out enough plays for Laporta. And that's what I feel like has been going on this season. They just have so much going on offensively that, a tight end, it's tough for a tight end to make a difference week in and week out when you got guys like Jameson Williams popping off for these deep touchdowns, huge yardage games. Amon-Ra sucking up all these targets. Yeah. Obviously, he's always going to be that guy. Yeah. And then running the ball so many times and also spending so many targets on Gibbs and Montgomery. It's so many mouths to feed. It's a tough start.
To the side.
Right.
And
but
he could put up sense, though.
Yeah. But, I'm starting Pitts.
Yeah.
easily. I wouldn't be freaking out about that. I
Um,
wouldn't be on Reddit asking any questions about that one.
yeah.
You
The
know,
r/fantasy football advice.
right? Did I get fleeced? Yes, you did.
So where's your head at for this matchup? Who are you picking? I'm gonna go with Jacob. I think
Yeah,
it's Jacob's to lose.
very black and white. I think Jacob's gonna take this one. Conveniently, the 69% favorite. So
Yeah.
we'll just see who's the 9 and who's the 6 after this week.
All right. This I'm excited to talk about this matchup here. If
Yeah,
Uncle
this is
Buck's
a great
Power
one.
Drill versus the champ is here.
Who
This is gonna be great.
I dealt all my firepower to these two teams, and I love that Connor came after me after I traded Lamb to him. So, if Connor falls to 5-4, that's a tough look after coming off of last season and who all those keepers he had coming in. So
Yep.
he had to go get a big player to come into confidently into this week. So
Yeah, one of them's going to be 6-3. One of them's going to be 5-4.
yeah.
You should almost thank me because if it wasn't for me, that trade wouldn't have gone through.
Which one?
Or the Jonathan Taylor one. Jonathan Taylor for
Oh, sure.
James. Because as soon as you traded CD Lamb, and I approved it, I had texted the champ is here like right away and was like, well, your week just got harder. Why? What happened? I was like,
oh yeah,
you play Connor and he just acquired CD Lamb. That's a buzzsaw of wide receivers.
Yes, dude.
That's literally 2 and 3. And then as soon as then you put out the text to the group and was like Jonathan Taylor out there, some time passes. And then you guys make the deal, quick. And he texts me right away about like, well, I made up for it. Got him. Just
Yep, Taylor coming back from injury, but looking just as good as he did before. I love Taylor, obviously. I mean, I traded him away, but I wish I could have kept him. He's a great running back, and I think he's definitely some good medicine for the Lamb virus. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out.
Because it's
a good matchup.
This
man. Looking at these, and he also picked up Myers off the waivers, who I also dropped. So we'll just say that I gave him Myers and Lamb from McConkey. I was a little bit high. Okay, I had made a lot of trade offers for him. All right, nobody was accepting anything, but then again, I think when I sent that McConkey trade, I wasn't 100% invested in it when I looked at it. I just didn't think anything was getting accepted anyway.
So
bam,
McConkey's
gone. But it was kind of a dumb move on my part. I mean, when I was trading him, I should have definitely just waited. I mean, that was we got McConkey. Hopefully he can do something. He's still a $9 keeper. Hopefully he turns it around.
Well,
Lamb is a beast.
If he keeps improving, you're looking at a potential 3 or 4 year.
Yeah. But regardless, I couldn't keep Lamb either way. What's the point? I'm selling the season. I'm not keeping him anyway for $70. I mean, I wouldn't even say he's had a $70 season yet. He put up 40 points. Yeah, he's had some decent weeks, but
he's shown some flashes, sure.
Yeah, but he's also the reason why I am 1-6. So, it's not like this guy was winning me any weeks. Obviously, he didn't even win me the week against you. I still got fucking bodied. And he put up 40 points. So maybe it was a good decision to just kiss him goodbye and start focusing on next year. But nonetheless, huge for Connor. Huge. Ryan.
Yeah.
That's just dangerous, those two on that wide receiver core.
There's just so much to go over on this one. I don't know where to start. Maybe we just don't start. Maybe we just don't do it. And just kind of run through the hits real quickly. Derrick Henry, CeeDee Lamb, Jefferson, and Goff for Uncle Buck's Power Drill. Then you have Jonathan Taylor, Drake London, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and B-Rob. For the
Hopefully
champions
you can
here.
flip one out. Yep.
It's two titans going after each other. Honestly, I think with this trade, Uncle Buck's Power Drill just secured himself in play.
He looks great. Obviously, Browns D against the Chargers that haven't been creating a lot of offense this season at all. I mean, I think they might be ranked in the bottom like 10, 15% of the league for points for this season. So, yeah, I think, we're going to have to see some big kicking and defensive points here to really give an edge. Kicking and defense. These guys need to score some points.
D. That's where it's going to come down to.
We need to see a 40-point side from one team that puts up 40 points with some kicker and D.
Yeah.
Maybe not that much.
I'm going to go with CR. I'm going to go with Uncle Buck's power drill.
I like that. I mean, you got to.
Yeah,
it's a tough team.
They're both tough teams, and I just see, you have the number 2 and the number 3 wide receiver. You have the number 1 running back.
Yep, against Denver, and then Jefferson, Indiana. The matchups are great too for his starting guys. I'm gonna be different here though, because somebody has to. You gotta love Connor Logan's team as well, right? Cook could blow up. Taylor could blow up. Taylor has got Minnesota. Very tough run defense. I think that is going to be important for Taylor to put his 20 up and pull the fucking boat. If he can get that done, he's going to have a good shot. But I'm gonna take Connor Logan on it because Trey McBride, obviously, I got him over Njoku as well.
Yeah.
And then Brian Robinson Jr. Hopefully he has a great game. But I'm not gonna give the edge to Connor Logan, but I'm gonna take Connor Logan on the shot.
I think this one's like a coin flip.
Yeah.
This one could go either way.
Absolutely. A little matchup dependent for the starters. So
last matchup of week 9 here. We got No Game Plan versus Stadium Hot Dogs. This one should be pretty good.
Yes. It's going to be interesting. A lot of stuff needs to happen. A lot of good stuff.
I think you're... Okay, here. So, all right. So here's how we'll do it. Again, you can run down the keys to success for No Game Plan, and I'll give you the keys to success for your team.
Why don't you start with me?
Start with you? All right.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. You got to get on the same page, and you need to be cohesive. I'm not worried about your running back core, Pollard and James Conner. Hit your projections. You should do fine. Lad McConkey, please, buddy, continue the streak you got. Show us a sign, not even for this week, but for the future, If you can string, what did you do last week? 30, something like that?
30,
yes. We're not asking for 30. Give us 18. Give us
That'd be
19.
awesome. That would be what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's okay. Isaiah Likely.
The hill. That's my hill. It's my hamburger hill right there.
I respect it. I respect it.
I tried to grab Ertz. I was going to grab him, and I actually let go of Likely. But I said, fuck it, and kept him.
I respect it, so you're just... You hope his number gets called. You hope you get another weekend from him.
Yes. Hopefully Andrews gets traded in the offseason.
And I think he still does get some targets, if I remember right.
He's had 3 touchdowns on the season, and he'll have once every 5 games. It seems like.
All right,
but if he can give me 8 give me 10 points, if you can give me 10 fucking points, 8 points, actually, I'd be happy with 8 or 9.
10 double digits would be great. 8 or 9 would be fantastic.
Satisfactory.
Yes. Tank Bigsby, great play. That's. Because ETN is if he's playing, he's limping still. I don't think he's 100% yet.
Even if he's not injured, I don't think that ETN has that same as Bigsby, But then again, biasly, I have him, so can't really say anything about it.
And then Vikings defense, you need a turnaround because I feel like the last 2 games have been kind of bad for you. Turn it on. And maybe that's just me being biased and just being a Vikings fan, knowing a little bit more about them.
Yep. What are their points for the last couple of weeks here? I guess. After that 0.
They had 0, and then 22. Oh, okay. You know, maybe I'm completely wrong.
That's
22,
why I want to keep them.
10,
Yeah,
17,
they do pretty
15.
good.
Oh, they're doing great. Oh,
Just a terrible week.
I'm looking at it too biased. I'm over
You
analyzing it too much on that.
Vikings fan.
So
Yeah.
so Vikings D, just keep doing your thing. You'll do
You're
fine
watching
against them.
you're watching the Lions just fucking run all over them. Like,
Oh
oh
my
yeah, they're
god.
ass.
Run
They
all
gotta
over them.
suck.
Oh,
Oh
third
man.
and 8, third and 9. Okay,
No
sure. No
problem.
problem.
They're
15
14.
yards over the middle. Yeah, okay,
Oh
cool.
god. Yeah, it's been a tough stretch of games for Vikings fans.
Yeah.
So I understand that bias, but as a fantasy owner, you gotta love them, and they're gonna win
They're doing
you.
great.
They're gonna win the week
They got to
for
be
you if they do
defense
good.
one, right? Eighth?
No, I think that dud that they
Oh.
dropped really fucked with them. Really
Oh
fucked them
yeah,
over a little bit.
that puts them half a matchup behind kind of points.
Yeah, zero is with. Did they already have a bye week, or is there one
Yeah,
coming?
yeah, they already had a bye.
So they had a bye week and then the dud, but let's just say you give them,
2-3 games.
minimum 15 points aside on those games.
Yeah.
Add 30 points to that total. Probably looking at, number 1, 2, 3. So,
yeah.
but nonetheless.
So yeah, that's kind of your keys to success. The big thing is you need Ladd McConkey to get, doesn't need to get 20, but close to 20, and Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison to figure it out.
They need it. Yeah, they absolutely need to show me why I picked them, why I had so much faith in them, why I spent $40 on the best rookie receiver in the draft.
They are having good games. It's just do it more consistently now.
Right. It's not not worth his trade value on the stat sheet, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I'm still trading for him regardless.
Yeah.
You can get him cheap at least.
So, all right, walk me through no game plan now.
All right, so obviously Love has to play here. What has he got? Is it his knee he's still messing around with that's keeping him out, or is it a different issue right now?
This is groin. Let's see here.
Oh, his groin. Okay, so obviously Love is a little injured up, a little banged up. And there's a chance that they just decide, Love is hobbling. Let's throw Willis in. They like Willis clearly as a backup option, and he can win the game as well. That he showed last week. Fantastic from Willis. I mean, he's got 150 passer rating with minimum 30 attempts on the season. I think he leads with 150 some passer rating and 4 touchdowns. Four throwing touchdowns, 0 picks. So. Obviously, they wouldn't have a problem starting him, but if that depends on Love. Obviously, that's the guy. He's going to put up. They need him to put 20 or no game plan needs 20 points from Love for sure. Especially if Murray puts up 20 points, which could definitely happen, or 30 or more, depending really on that game that they have with Chicago. So Love needs to play, and Love needs to play good. Hubbard, man, who do we got coming from the pup list from IR this week? Who is it? What's his name? Fuck, I can't remember. Not the running back, Brooks. Mr. Brooks.
Yep.
Is he not coming back? So is Hubbard has to start him or what? Thought he was coming back this week, maybe.
It says running.
I thought he logged a full practice.
Unlikely to be activated.
Unlikely. Okay, so another week from Hubbard. He's actually had some, not as good of weeks as he used to have, earlier in the season. But Hubbard could definitely have a great game.
But he's been doing pretty good. I mean, 9 points last week.
Yeah, these last couple games not as good, but he could definitely fuck my day up. He could easily fuck up my day, my Sunday. So he needs Hubbard to do well again, more or less like he was playing 4 or 5 weeks ago. But obviously I got James Conner starting, and he's gonna put up his projection, like you said. Those are projection guys, so he needs Hubbard to have a big week and not flub out. Walker, love him. I have him in 2 other leagues. Walker's a fucking beast. I mean, but he dropped a dud last week. Definitely another key to his success is Walker having a good week, because if Hubbard doesn't show up and Love doesn't show up, he's really going to need Walker shot, and Nakua as well. Nakua and Walker, because Nakua obviously has that. Was his hamstrings bothering him or his knee or something? His knee. But obviously that wasn't an issue from the reports and the articles. But yep, he needs a good game from those two. Obviously, Olave might play all right. He's got Derek Carr coming back, so he could blow up. But I would say his biggest keys, though, are definitely Walker putting up a good amount of points to make up just in case Hubbard has a bad matchup or a bad game. And also for Love, if he has a kind of a shitty game because of his ailments right now, he absolutely needs Nakua and Walker to be Nakua and Walker and have, 20-point weeks, 15-point, 20, even more. He needs those guys to have a good week, especially if like you said, Marvin Harrison, Kyler Murray's stack ends up working out for 50 plus points. So needs to happen. But yeah, I think that's where it is. For the moment.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Kenneth Walker needs to be lights out. I mean, Chuba Hubbard. Yep. I think the best you can ask from him is his projection, if not a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
Kenneth Walker being just more explosive and just all around better. You're asking a lot more from him. You're at 20-ish points you kind of need from him, 20 to 25.
He's got a high ceiling. He had a 33-point week, but I think that was when I was looking in my half PPR or full PPR league, half maybe. I don't know. He had a monster week.
18,
so it was 33,
20, 23. So yeah, he's done. Yeah. He's been there before. He kind of lives right around that area.
The ceiling is there, and he just needs him to do that. Right. I mean, you need 20 points. Yes, he needs 20 points out. Yeah, exactly. Which I think he's got a really good shot of doing against the Rams that have been letting up, crazy points against the run this season. No Aaron Donald. Yeah. Goodbye. I mean, those holes are wider than a stripper's butt crack. So, yeah.
Well, with all that being said, for anybody who's watched this show for a long time, historically, no, projections don't mean shit. We don't believe in projections.
Yep. Right.
No game plan may be favored 60%, but you know what? I like your team better. I like Stadium Hot Dogs just a little bit more because James Conner, Tony Pollard, great 1-2. Ladd McConkey, Marvin Harrison, if they hit their projections and do a little bit better, you're good right there. Kyler Murray, I'm not a big Kyler Murray fan or Kyler Murray believer, but going up against a hurt Love, okay, you can do a little bit better.
Absolutely.
It just, your highs are a lot higher than I think no game plan is. And I think you got a new team, you got a new face to your team right now.
Yeah,
you made some moves. When's a better time to get a win than right now?
Now would be.
I also need you to win too, because you beating Travis gives me. And if you beat Travis, I win this week. We got the same record, and I'm out of last place.
And you're back into it with a very decent team, actually.
Yeah,
very decent team you got still. I mean, it's maybe not even time for you to sell like you may have been talking about. I would give it some time for sure.
We've never dealt with injuries. We've just dealt with underperforming like crazy.
Yeah, and that's not a problem. Like you can be very hopeful about a team like that, especially with what lies over the horizon right now for those guys. It looks good.
So even if I do end up in last place, I've said this, I will not cry wolf about injury. That is not an issue my team has had. We have just simply underperformed up until this moment. But I believe I can win. I believe you can win.
Love it.
You beat Travis, like I say, and then I can win. That takes me out of last place because then I got him on the tiebreaker on points. I move up to fourth place in the Haitian division, just another notch up that ladder,
Absolutely. Who do you play this week again?
I play the Legion of Poon. So I got a pretty good matchup.
Great matchup. That's my rival. So I gotta say, you're probably gonna fucking toss that ass around. Obviously.
So yeah.
You got the better of me, unfortunately, this season though.
I got you winning this week. And is it safe to say I'm going to put you down as you think you're going to win this week too, or?
Obviously we really like Naku and Walker, but I can see some things going wrong. On both sides. Obviously he's a favorite, but look at those injuries. But mine too, but not as bad. I'm gonna just roll with myself because it's my fucking team.
Yeah,
I'm going with me.
You can't bet against yourself.
Right. I thought I was blue balling you on no game plan. I'm going with me. It's my team. I think I can do this. For a second,
I thought I was about to have to announce that for the very first time ever, someone on the show has bet against themselves. That's never happened in the history of this show. Because like I said, we go through makeup. You always vote for yourself. You always got to have at least, no matter how bad your team is.
And I love it because, confidence. I moved Taylor and CeeDee Lamb, which actually made me such a good team this year, but just like you said, same problem. Underperformance really just taking me out of contention so early. Obviously, could I have crawled back? Sure. In a vacuum, I could have crawled back. But I just don't have a lot of faith with what was going on. But either way, I think my points for was ridiculously low. I mean, what do I have? Points for right now.
1,000, not actually terrible. You're beating Legion of Poon. You're beating Turf.
That's pretty good, actually.
You're beating me. You're beating Travis, and you're beating Shane. Yeah, you're like
fantastic.
6th.
What are my points against? That's not that bad either, but a lot, kind of. But nonetheless, I think I was just getting roughed up, by some pretty big margins most weeks. It wasn't very close for me in any of these recent weeks. So
you have the hardest schedule difficulty.
Yeah, so that doesn't help anything either. But it is what it is. I'm gonna have a good team come next year, and I feel like I'm gonna compete next year. I ain't selling early because I'm gonna have quite a few guys I think I'm gonna be able to keep, that are going to make a difference. Obviously, like I was telling you, we're selling everything for a chance at 1 or 2 guys that are going to be that fucking dude that I can hold on to for another 2 years, so 2-3 years. So we'll see who those 2 guys are. I started this season with only CeeDee Lamb and Zamir White as keepers, and as it shakes down, this is my whole team now. Technically only on roster was keeping CeeDee Lamb. So I think it's a good draft next year. Yep. Hit the fucking books, get to it. Fucking it turns around.
Some bones, you know what? And you're doing it. Maybe your team has a little curse to it.
Curse.
Because don't say that. You're right. Hey.
Oh, don't say that. No,
you know what? Because this is so you inherited Better Luck Next Time's team, and.
Did I inherit that phrase and that lifestyle as well?
Maybe.
The curse of the Better Luck Next Time curse.
It's it's only been 1 season for you. So this is, it's the learning curve of the league of...
Definitely that auction league hit me in the face like a ton of bricks. So I was not, even though the research I did, it wasn't I wasn't ready for it,
So even equating like that into this will give you a kind of like a bye year.
Yep. And I'm okay with that because I'm enjoying watching this league happen. It's a fun league to watch. Like you were saying, it's definitely my favorite league. So even though I'm watching from the sideline, I can still make moves and make my team better. It's a fun league to be in.
Yeah, regardless. Yeah, you're no longer like you want to win because anything can happen. You could still win out, make a push for playoffs, kind of thing. Like it's possible. But
Absolutely.
now it is kind of like you also are like not so like one track minded of this is just my year, whatever.
Right.
You are like, okay, well next year.
And that's why I think I'm going to break that curse.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, well, once you'll kind of get your feet under you this year. And then going forward the next year or 2 after that, it'll really be like, hey, is it just a curse on the organization?
Yeah.
Or does this guy actually got some chops?
Right. I might have to make I know we were talking about rivalry trophies. I might have to have a custom trophy made that says better luck next time. And every time I beat Legion of Poon, I have to give him this totem of the unluckiness, and then hopefully I can hand it off
you hand it off.
Oh, I think that'd be a fun little gag. Yeah, exactly. So like, and when you feel like you have this plaque, you're just gonna feel like shit's hitting a fan that week. That very next week, like Freddy Krueger's under your bed type of shit. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully we could turn it around. But yeah, I'm not a guy that carries too much value on names. Like I'm looking for points. I'm looking for the future. I'm looking for guys. Like I'm not gonna hold out for a dude that I have just because he's got a fancy name and a big old contract. Like this is fantasy, like we were talking about, we're guessing all fucking season. We don't know a damn thing. So we just got to make the best.
Anything can happen. And so, with all the information at your disposal, you make your best guess.
Absolutely. And usually, if you look hard enough, you make some good guesses, you pull through, you win some weeks, and you have a good season.
Yeah. And that's why
I think I can still win a couple games too.
Yeah, you could because the biggest thing is come playoff time, how the playoff structure works. As we're getting closer, we're going to start talking about this more. The very last place team, the two last place teams in each division, automatically just play each other for the shitty. Person who loses gets the shitty, and then your season's done.
Right.
The top three in each division go to the playoffs, with the first place team in each division getting a first round bye.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fourth and fifth place team in each division just kind of go consolation for just
shits and gigs.
Pretty much filling out nomination order for the draft.
Right.
Because that's how I have it set up, is you nominate and last to first.
Right.
So they're just going through a formality, but
yep.
So you
can't
win a couple
games,
you get out of that last place spot. You just don't get the shitty, pretty much. That's all you're playing for right now.
If everything turns out bright and beautiful, Tyrone Tracy just magically becomes this fantastic running back rest of the season. Same with McConkey, Harrison, Pollard and Connor. They could have my consistent running backs, and then hopefully one of those guys even blows up this season. And maybe I'll end up with 4 or 5 wins if all that happens.
Yeah, and that might be just enough to get you out of last place.
Yeah, 4 or 5 more
matchups. Yeah,
right. Or maybe not 4 or 5 more wins. We got how many weeks left? We got 8 weeks left.
Yeah,
right?
8 weeks. So you could go 500. You could go 500 the rest of the regular season.
Yeah, I'd be okay with 500. The team I had before, I think, had a good chance at probably, maybe going a little over 500, obviously. But I think 500 is a goal for what I'm working with here. I think I'm probably going to more or less peel out 2 wins is what CBS would project me at, probably 1.9 wins rest of the season.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, hopefully, like we say, fuck projections and
projections don't mean shit.
Yeah, win a couple good matchups here. I don't even know my schedule the rest of the season right now, but I mean, I'm sure it ain't good. You said I'm the fucking worst in the league.
Yeah,
so
right now it says you have the hardest schedule.
Right. But hey, it's not like it matters, right?
No.
But I also don't want people thinking they can come grab a free fucking win either, right?
Yeah, there's no such thing as a free win around these parts.
Right. I want to fuck your playoff hopes up.
Billy was my first win. I also lost to No Game Plan. Like it all, like White Bronco boys lost to John, lost to Legion of Poon.
Purple Rain lost a pretty shitty matchup too. I think he did.
Yeah, fucking,
right, you don't know.
There's no easy W's around these parts.
No, there's not. Absolutely not. It's going to be an exciting rest of the season.
We've gone for 2 hours.
I think there was a lot to talk about. We had a lot to say about this week. It's a very important week. It's a special. It's halfway through the season.
Halfway through the season. Things really are starting to heat up. Some of these matchups start to affect each other.
the trade line, the deadline is when is it? A couple weeks from now, November 24th,
20th.
Right. So, a lot of trades are happening. It's like we were saying at the halfway point. There's just a lot going on this week. A lot of people thinking deeply about their teams, about how good they really are and what they think they have right now, So it's a lot of people are thinking about the playoffs, those that are having good weeks. I know that I am in my other league. I'm 6-2 and I'm thinking about the playoffs. Who can I trade for, buy low right now? Who's still on the waiver that might do something? These are big questions you're asking yourself at somebody, if you're in the top 2 on the leaderboard on each division. So
yeah, well, and especially too, like I know some leagues will not do week 18. We do week 18. We reward depth.
Yes, that's a good thing.
The deepest team. So it's like, yeah, even though you are in that 1-2 spot now. Yeah. This is why, trading for keepers, like trading for these stars where Champ is here and Uncle Bucks did so well is like now they have stupid depth for like come those games where it's just like, oh, so-and-so is sitting out. So-and-so is sitting out. Well, then who do you have to plug in? Like you got to try and build some of that stuff up. So when that does come around, if you do get affected,
then you could take advantage of some depth.
Covered. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And Jacob, right? No Purple Rain, right?
Yep, Purple Rain.
He obviously has a team full of superstars that a lot of them are probably going to be in the playoffs week 18 and might be sitting on the bench.
Yep.
And that would be a fucking nightmare for him if he had 2 or 3 guys sitting on the bench in the biggest week of this season. So something he might have to think about as well. You know?
He's got to find that depth, find that right level of depth.
He does have some good depth though, but having that many superstars on the team, you just never know.
Yeah, you never know. Never know. But all right, we will wrap this up. I don't think I have anything else to add. Doing a pit stop pick'em this weekend. So if people want to tune into that or be a part of that, let me know. Otherwise, have a good rest of the night, everyone. Good luck this week.
Yeah, have a good weekend, y'all. Thanks for letting me on the show, Grant.
Yeah,
it's a good time.
Welcome to the league.
Yeehaw, buddy. Have a good night, brother.